This video will walk you through a new style of assignment using a system called Scoreboard, which gives you instant feedback as you work. It's going to be your job to complete all of the gray cells by calculating the answers correctly. So for the first one, we're looking for the item's cost. Well, we have an item that costs $299, and there's one of them, so it's $299. The cell turned pink, which means that either my answer is wrong, or I've calculated it incorrectly, or both. So in this case, it's telling us that we have a missing formula or function. It's really important in Excel that we don't type the values. So it tells us what's wrong and what we need to do to fix it. So here we have to actually calculate the answer. And we'll take that 299 and multiply it by 1 using a formula. Now we can copy that down to the others. And when the cell turns completely green, that means that we have the correct answer and it's been calculated correctly. Now if we were to calculate tax on the item cost, we'll take the item cost and multiply it by the tax rate. And I can see here that it is telling me that I have a missing lock. It didn't tell me my answer is incorrect, so I've calculated the answer correctly, but I'm missing a lock in order to copy it down. So all I need to do is add my lock, and now I can copy the formula down. Then I can get the total cost. Oops. You can use the sum function, or you can just add the item cost plus the tax. Either will work, and the system will accept both because they're both correct solutions. And now I have my total cost. Now I need to calculate my totals. So I need to find the total of the items bought. So I'll use the sum function to add those numbers together and then copy this over. These answers turned out incorrectly. They're noted in yellow, and they're not actually incorrect, it's just that they're not formatted correctly. So we need to reformat those all as dollar amounts. Once those are formatted, the answer may not change immediately. If it doesn't change when you change your formatting, go ahead and press your F9 button or function F9. And they'll update appropriately. If you're unsure of how a cell should be formatted, look above the feedback for the details on the formatting. So this one is supposed to be currency or accounting with 2 decimal places. Some questions are graded in a block. For instance, we have these 3 multiple choice questions. The first says how are formulas and functions started in Excel, and each is started with an equal sign. So we'll simply put the answer or the letter in for the first answer. What function finds the total of the selected cells? And that's a sum function, which is C. And the third one says what function finds the average of the selected cells? This is going to be the average function. Once you get all of the answers correct, the answer block will turn green. If any one of your answers is incorrect, for instance, if I had put B for this one, it would be incorrect, and the answer block would turn pink. So you'd simply have to figure out what the correct answer was, and once you correct it, it then turns green. Keep in mind, as you're working, your points earned will continue to increase. So each individual cell that you get correct, or section of cells that you get correct, you'll earn points from the points possible. The same happens for the answer block, depending on how many points the answer block is worth. Once you get that correct, those will then be added to your score. On the Summary tab, which will be the first tab on each of your assignments, you'll be able to see every one of your tab names. This one only had 1 tab or sheet within the workbook, but each of those would be listed under here, and you'll be able to see your points earned and points possible on each tab. Plus, in the top right, you'll be able to see your total score and your percentage overall.